Poland seemed to be going from strength to strength, but what should be expected next year? Let's find out by talking to senior EM economist Tatha Ghose. Well, Poland's third quarter GDP has been revised up from 3.4 to 3.5%, with the largest emerging economy in the EU growing 0.9% from the second quarter. How has Poland been able to achieve such growth?
Poland typically grows 2.5 to 3 percentage points faster than the Eurozone average, and faster than Germany as well. One reason is that it's a lower income per capita country which is converging to the EU standard. It began this convergence process much after the Czech Republic and Hungary, for example. One way to look at it would be that the labor share within EU of Poland is about 9%, but its manufacturing GDP share is only 3%. And convergence means that these two numbers will move closer to each other by the end of the convergence process. That's why Poland always grows faster. And of course, EU funds is a big factor. The developed countries, they give funds. The emerging markets, they take or receive funds through EU support and structural funding schemes. And last few quarters have been particularly punchy in terms of use of EU funds, because the program 2007 to 2013 is drawing to a close. The deadline for using all funds from that program is this month. So the preceding couple of quarters have seen extraordinary jumps in fixed investment activity in the CEE, because people are rapidly using up these last chance EU funds.
Okay, the new Polish Prime Minister, Beata Szydło, announced the government will invest 1 trillion zloty into economic developments in a recent announcement. How do you assess the performance of the Polish economy in relation to other EM states in Europe?
Poland has been one of the fastest growing, steadily diverging away from the peer group since the Lehman crisis. So if you were to look at cumulative growth of the last 5 years, then Poland ranks number 1, followed by Turkey. And we know that the Turkish economy is facing many headwinds at this time. So Poland is a very likely outperformer in growth terms over the coming years. Not the least because its allocation of EU funds from the next window, which is 2014 to 2020, is a good 78 billion euros. And let's say Czech Republic or Hungary would get about 22 billion euros. So per capita, they're getting about the same. But because the absolute amount is large and relative to the flow of fixed investment every year, the scope for ratcheting growth up using EU funds is very, very good in Poland. The risk there, I have to mention, is of fiscal overshoot, because the new government has a much easier fiscal stance than the old government. And Poland just managed to get out of European Commission's excessive deficit procedure. So it would be a pity if they slipped back into there by recording a larger than 3% fiscal deficit anytime soon.
The European Commission has decided that there is no need to investigate further into macroeconomic imbalances in the Polish economy. The report noted that falling unemployment and a stable level of private debt were not a concern, yet are you expecting a continuing uptrend in 2016?
I expect the improvement in the unemployment rate, which has come down from 10% levels 2 years ago to 7.2 now, to not reverse that gain but stabilize around 7%. Next year, Poland should grow by about 3%, and that would be roughly in line with trend growth, so unemployment should remain stable. Debt is also, the public debt is a problem in Poland. They only managed to window dress it below their constitutional limit by raiding their private pension funds. But on the private sector side, the debt is, not explosive. The banking system would not suffer catastrophic consequences of let's say a Greek or other potential meltdown elsewhere in the Eurozone, because they're well capitalized, their cross exposures are limited. So in terms of this debt and financial system, I would agree that Poland is much improved from, say, 5 years ago.
Thank you, Tatha. I'm Sam Meredith, and be sure to check back with Dukascopy TV for more updates throughout the week. See you next time.